So hello everybody, this is Kevin Blinkoff, editor of On the Water magazine, and today I get the chance to talk to Skip Sorenson of Century Boats, and excited to have this conversation. But first, Skip, I gotta say, I'm sorry for affecting productivity. I know you guys are busy there, doing a lot. You just had to tell the guys to stop grinding for a minute and keep it quiet for the video. What's going on today?
Yeah, we're here busily building boats. We came off a furlough about 3 weeks ago. We've got a great backlog, and we're trying to get boats built and out the door.
Great. So stepping back a bit, you've got a long history of successful work in a bunch of different engineering industries, but clearly boats are your passion and your love. Can you tell me a little bit about where that comes from and how you got to this point with Century Boats?
Sure, Kevin. I started my career as a shipbuilder. I'm a fourth-generation shipbuilder at Newport News Shipbuilding, working in construction, even though I had a finance degree, building submarines. And it was an amazing experience, and it's been in my blood ever since. So spent the majority of my career in aerospace and defense, and then ended up in private equity, where I helped buy and sell companies. And I started a small and boutique investment banking firm that focuses exclusively on the maritime industry, more specifically on boat manufacturers. And that's how I came upon Century. They were a client of mine. I've been working with them for about a year and a half. Became so enamored with the business that I ended up raising a fund and bought a controlling interest in the company. And then I ended up 3 weeks later purchasing another client on behalf of Century, Vanquish Boats, which we have since renamed Coronado. So now we have two really strong product lines within the business. We have an offshore fishing boat that's family friendly, and we have an inshore family boat that's fishing friendly. So we're able to accommodate all needs from our customers.
So you said you were enamored with Century Boats. What is it about Century Boats that had you, in love with their design, with the boats they provided?
Yeah, from a product standpoint, the business has built many different types of boats over its 100-year history. Started off with speed boats, went into day boats, cruisers, ski boats, and in its current configuration, mainly offshore heavy-duty fishing boats. So the products were easy to fall in love with. We are really proud of the history of Century Boats. Produced over 10,000 boats in the long evolution of Century. And to commemorate that, we've actually created a customer center and museum here at the factory. So we're in the midst of finishing that up. It'll be sometime around the third quarter that it will finish. We'd love to have you out here in that christening party to see the new customer center, which will be a place where folks who are interested in our boats and want to do a custom boat, or our dealers for that matter, can come in and select fabrics or colors, options, engines. And then the museum will be a large area for us to have old vintage boats, Century boats in, to have memorabilia, to have videos about Century. And it'll be a place where Century fans can come and worship the brand. And so both of those will be ready in the September-October timeframe. We're going to have a christening party where all of our dealers and suppliers, the whole network that we utilize to get Century boats built, will be here. We're in the midst of a significant dealer development. Our network is expanding rapidly. Ever since the acquisition and the press releases, we've had unsolicited contacts from dealers across the country. And we do have a few gap areas, the Great Lakes area, Texas, out west, that we are trying to fill. So we're continuing to talk with new dealers about coming on board with our network. And we're hoping to have that process complete by that christening and have our entire dealer network here in September. But from a business standpoint, the fact that the company has had the long heritage that it has means that there are a lot of people who are familiar with the brand. We have a list of over 10,000 past and present Century owners that we're able to reach out to and have an engagement with and a dialogue with about our products. And you don't find that in a whole lot of brands. Recently, I purchased an RV that I use up here at the factory and with dealers and at boat shows. It's wrapped in our company logo, and I drove it from Arizona over to Tampa, where our headquarters are, our factory. And along the way, I stopped at gas stations, and I had people walking up, "Hey, I had a Century, I've got a Century," almost every gas station. So it's a really well-known brand, and between, excellent high-quality products and the fact that we ought to be able to leverage that existing customer base, it really was an attractive opportunity.
So there's kind of a responsibility there to take over a brand that has such a long history and that has a base already of people who know the brand and are fans. How do you plan to honor that history and keep that sort of fan base of Century owners happy while still improving the product? What's your plan on growing the Century family?
That's a great question. Our primary focus and where we've received the most feedback from our customers and our dealers is the products need to be refreshed and you need to introduce new products. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm going to move our cameras. We have a prototyping shop over there in the back corner, and that prototyping shop, we've got 4 folks over there right now who are working on a new 24-foot center console, and we have a product roadmap where we've got a number of new products that will be introduced over the next 6 months to 12 months, and that's first and foremost. Secondly is we need to be represented more in the industry with our brand. So we haven't really done a lot of marketing in the past. So we're doing a lot of press releases, we're doing interviews, we're having speaking engagements, we're doing advertising, a lot of social media. Obviously, that's what you need to do in today's world. So we're really getting the brand out into the marketplace. This story and this resurrection of this brand won't be a whole lot different than what happened with Chris Craft, 10 years ago. So we're on a journey to make sure that this brand comes back to the full power and strength that it enjoyed in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
You described Century boats earlier as really being a serious sport fishing, a very sport fishing capable boat. Obviously, fishing is a big part of Century's recent past, and it's a big part of where it's going now. Can you tell me a little bit about what you plan to do to really make Century a fishing-first boat?
So Century has been known as a really balanced model between fishing and family cruising. You could go fishing in the morning, take the family out in the afternoon. In order to meet the needs of our hardcore fishermen, we're introducing a new Pro Series line, which will be specifically tailored to hardcore fishermen. And that, in combination with our existing products, will provide a great range of capability to our customers. We're also going to be sponsoring some fishing teams. We're going to have a sponsorship of tournaments, and we ultimately plan to have a fishing show that will be the Century fishing team and their exploits at these various tournaments. So we're going to make a major commitment to being alongside the hardcore fishermen.
Oh, that's fantastic, and that's definitely something our audience will be happy to hear about. What are you most excited about right now, going forward, looking at what the next few months will bring for Century Boats? What's got you most excited?
Yeah, I would say our workforce. So we've got an amazing team here, starting with our leadership team at the top. We've brought in a significant number of industry veterans. Before, the leaders of the Century and the Vanquish brands by themselves were kind of running the shop on their own. And now we've got a really very experienced leadership team to guide this company. And then our workforce has come back from that furlough healthy, safe, and strong. And we have very experienced craftsmen here who can handle any type of work, and they're going to be producing some of the highest quality boats. So I'm excited to help them grow and develop as individuals in this workplace by providing additional training, helping them take on larger responsibilities, We are in a big time hiring mode right now. We've got 10 or 12 requisitions open for additional craftsmen at all levels, both entry-level folks as well as very experienced people. So being able to meet those new people, bring them into the fold, have them see the factory, that's what's really got me excited, is watching this business grow. New products are cool, and I'll love showing them at the boat shows. Our team will love explaining the new capabilities to our customers. But seeing our workers' face when we roll out a new model or we have a company picnic and we tell them about the successes that we're having, that gets me really juiced up.
That's great to hear. Quality boats always start with the people on the factory floor and the ones who build them. And to come through what's been a scary and troubling time and see you guys hiring, building boats, and moving forward it's great. It's wonderful to see. I'm excited to see what comes next from Century Boats, and I really appreciate your time today because I know you're busy. I can see that there's a lot going on in the background, and you guys got to get back to work. So just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today, and we look forward to see what comes next.
That's great, Kevin. It's been my pleasure, and I appreciate your interest in Century, and look forward to talking again.
Great. Thank you.